Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Get Out of Rap. Today, I have the great pleasure of being joined by Iryna Velychko, who is, as you know, the president of the Ukrainian Contact Center. She's been on Get Out of Rap twice before, I think. And we're very pleased to be joined by Bogdan Koshevoy, who is the head of the Outsourcing Committee, and I've heard as well award winner from the European Contact Center Association Awards. It's great to have you both here. Thank you for joining me.
Thank
Thank you for this
you,
opportunity.
Martin, for invitation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you after 2 years of our war. Your country and you together with Neris very help us a lot, especially in first months. You collect a lot of money for working of our government hotline for people for outsourcing contact centers which help to this line in their work in the most terrible and difficult time of the Russian invasion, and it was a huge help for us. Thank you a lot, and I hope we will continue our conversation and communication, and I hope UK must be and Ukraine must be together in such situation and in the future, because UK is a very strong country with huge brave people. We know a lot about UK history, and I'm sure our union can be very successful.
Well, no need to say thank you. We are all in awe of the bravery of the Ukrainian people. And, let's not forget it was February 2022 when Russia invaded, and we spoke soon after that, and you talked about how your contact centers were being used to support the resistance against the Russian aggression. And seeing the terrible scene at the White House recently, I think has made people want to support you even more. And this is why we're doing the podcast. And just before we hit record, Bogdan, you were saying you were with a German company in Donetsk, right on the front line. Could you just share what you were doing there?
Yeah, Martin, yes. So I involved in volunteer teams. It's named Kiev Defenders, and we support our military for more than 3 years now. And we have a lot of partners in Europe, and mostly they from Germany. And yesterday we was in Donetsk region and helped to our military. We get 4 cars and 1 ambulance for our military. And this trip was with our friends, our colleagues. It's from Germany. It was with 5 people from Germany. They didn't have some relationship to Ukraine or something else. They just want to support us and help. And for this team, it was maybe the 10th trip to Donetsk. So they help a lot for us and for Ukraine. So yesterday, yeah, we was maybe 10 or 8 kilometers from the front line and spoke a lot with our military guy and give it them a lot of support from us.
I guess my first question is to both of you: how is day-to-day life for you and for people doing the same job as us here in contact centers, but they are in the Ukraine? What is the current situation like for you?
Uh, Well, first of all, we understand that we must continue our work for every day because we need money for our military forces, so we must make business also. That's why it's very important for example, for outsourcers to receive some projects because it's very difficult in the period of wartime. But we continue to work because in after 3 years we have a lot of experience how to work under the missiles without electricity. And now all of our company has own generator and has special shelters and so on. We have a very good predictive system which inform us about potential missiles and where or drones where they can come. So we are preparing. We have possibility to work in the same almost in the same conditions. From one side, from another side, you can understand that our people really are very tired because we can we can't normally sleep because we in many regions of our country we have a lot of drones almost each night. So it's minimum 1-2 hours it's night you must spend in the mobile phone where is it is this drone or maybe come to a shelter and so on. One moment, another moment, except work, we must think about some volunteers questions. Yeah, so we must work only not only for live but for society also. A lot of our people prepare to volunteers, prepare to different help for volunteers, help for other funds. So really, our people must now work much more than before. That's why the speed of our life is minimum in 2 or 3 times more quickly than in Europe now. And people who live in Ukraine see it's very good when we come abroad. Really, the time for receiving the questions very different in other countries and in Ukraine. It's really, it's very strange situation when you come abroad and see absolutely different time, life, time and so on. It's sometimes it's funny, but so yes, that's why if you can ask Ukraine how are you, usually people tell busy. I still alive but busy. It's my
I can
opinion,
add
Bogdan.
that,
Maybe you have another.
yeah, just a few words. I can add that people are just used to it and they live in this reality. For example, in our company, it's not a big deal if we have some Google Meet or etc., Zoom, and hear some explosion. It's okay for us now. It's I understand that it's not so good for European or different countries, but for now, for our company, for our people, it's okay, and we work with that. And so this is our reality for now.
It's so humbling to hear you talk about normal life and how you've had to adapt underneath such awful conditions and aggression. Um, I have a great question from Neris Caulfield, and she asks, "How can we support you more?"
Bogdan, please,
Uh,
it's more important to you.
First of all, it's very important to have this information and share information about Ukraine because we understand that it's a lot of years war in Ukraine, and some people start to forget it. For firstly, it's uh, give information from all around the Europe, all around the world that it's war in Ukraine, and it is not a small conflict in some small country that doesn't involve all countries from the world. So in this conflict, now we have a lot of partners, a lot of enemies, and this engage a lot of countries, and we understand that it's very important things for rest of the world, for rest of the world. So it's firstly. Secondary, it's mm, uh, take care about fake news. We understand that Russia have more money for this fake news, etc., and we should deal with that. We should bring the real information about the situation in Ukraine. And third one is maybe the main things for a lot of company in Ukraine start working with European Union, with UK, Canada, US, etc. And for us, it's important to can make a project with this company, with these countries. So I think it's the main thing. So Iryna, can you add it?
Mhm. Uh, Martin, I think now the main problem is that our war is not local conflict. It's conflict. It's war now. It's very dangerous, not only for our region. It's can be really start of the third nuclear, the third world war, and I think the stupid decisions of Trump's can start the nuclear war. So for me, it can be very important for each country to start to prepare to the war. Because in our information world, if the aggressor sees that everyone around preparing to fight, maybe it will not attack. We checked such situation not once. So, so I'm sure that Europe must show how it prepare to the war. And people in those European countries, as minimum, must understand that it's very important to show how you prepare. That Russians must see it and must afraid this, yeah, because you understand that Russia really not so strong that they show. They can show very good pictures, but reality is another. So European must make the same. They must show very good pictures for Russians, and they must understand that they haven't enough forces to fight with all Europe. Because now I told to Bogdan, I see the deja vu situation as 3 years ago in Ukraine, that a lot of people around Ukraine told the war will start, the war will start. Ukraine, and no, 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 they're not stupid, they can't make this one and so on. Yeah, now Ukrainians tell other people, you must prepare. War can start. Yeah. So
Yeah.
not repeat our mistakes. You must prepare and you must show that you prepare. After this, maybe they will not start this aggression, new aggressions. If no, if they will see that Europe only blah blah blah, we will make, maybe we will make it in 2030.
Yeah.
You will not see this 2030.
I think you are right. We have to learn from history, and seeing Zelensky doing everything he can and being treated so badly, I think has made Europe stand up and say we have to be with Ukraine so that we don't have to rely on America, because Russia has done bad things in the UK on a espionage kind of level. And Bogdan, to your point, I don't think many people here in the UK certainly believe the fake media
It's great.
from Russia. We can see it, and we trust what we trust what we see from places like the BBC and that kind of thing. We we have been inspired by how Ukrainians have carried on and fought against this invasion from a contact center point of view, and the contact centers that are still working in difficult circumstances, but still working. You know, Iryna, I can remember you shared with me just before the invasion how Ukraine was right at the top with new technology, multilingual, a great destination for companies to consider for outsourcing for work, work in Ukraine. From a support point of view, how can companies and contact centers here in the UK support the Ukrainian contact center industry?
Bogdan?
About call center, firstly, we can understand that it's quite to we have a great speed of our technology, and firstly we should share this technology and know how implemented some technology in UK or in Ukraine, etc. For example, we use AI from maybe 1.5 year in our company. So firstly, it's share the technology and how it's used. Secondary is it's very simple, but we can handle some project. For example, from UK, we can handle it a lot of multi-language requests for now. And next one, it's maybe yeah, we have war in Ukraine, but you mentioned that yes, we can still work, and it's not 1 million, it's about 30 million in Ukraine, and they work in their regular works and do that they should do. So it's not afraid for UK or different countries to have deal with Ukraine, to have contract and just work with Ukrainian company.
And it's the
Mhm.
easiest way for people to start talking to you about that, to contact you both and also the Ukrainian Contact Center Association?
It's very easy to.
Yes. Yes, it's very easy because Iryna is a contact center association president, so she have a lot of great contacts in Ukraine. And for your understanding about business in Ukraine, we create now the association of outsourcing companies that can work with a lot of multi-language, a lot of language, and we can work with a lot of projects. So it brings to work with Ukraine easier for a different company and more safety.
This is where we should be. This is where we should be working. You know, there's no more deserving country than the Ukraine for consideration for outsourcing activity. Sorry, Iryna, you were going to say.
Yes, I would like to tell about one small project, but maybe it's the first word. We started to work with UK trainer Rachel Williams. Maybe you know her.
Yes.
So she make a webinar for our market, and we agreed with her to make some trainings for Ukrainian companies, for people from Ukrainian companies which work in English language. Yeah. Yes, sure, it's not so big money as typical price for UK. It's a special decision from Rachel for helping to our people, but it's really very important from time to time to have a special UK speaking trainer in six knowledge, six experience, yeah, in clients experience. It's very difficult to find such trainers in our market. So sometimes it's very good help. So maybe we will, if we will have questions from our companies to train their people, maybe I will develop this direction and will ask UK trainers about such possibilities. Maybe it's another direction of helping to Ukraine.
Yes, I think even just hearing that about what you've done with Rachel makes me think about the team leader community. And if you have English speaking team leaders, I would love to offer them free membership to the community so that they can learn and have a place to learn. Bogdan, for your call center, how many people are in that?
180.
And whereabouts in the Ukraine is that?
Yeah, we have 3 offices. It's Sumy, it's near the border with Russia. It's about 40 kilometers. And Vinnytsia and Kropyvnytsia, it's a center of Ukraine, and maybe about 30% of this of people work in home. And yeah.
Some of the questions, I had a question from somebody called Rob Wilkinson, was how do you maintain the team's motivation and resilience?
Firstly, we should understand how our people planning. Now they live with the horizon of planning, for example, 5 or 7 days, not so great of some quarters or 1 year, etc. So we work with the short-term plans, short-term tasks, and short-term motivation. Really a lot of people, it start work with people simpler now in a period of war before the war, because a lot of really understand why they're here, what they should do, etc. So for me, now I can see that it's easier now we work with people than before the war.
And you must have had to help people with trauma.
Well, what do you mean by trauma? Can you
Just
use
being in the
something?
condition of war, and
Mhm.
maybe they have lost people, and they still
Mm,
have to they still come to work to help them with their
Yes, thank you.
mental health.
Mhm. Uh, One of the greatest things in your contact center, you spoke with a lot of people in your company. So each our agent have a lot of friends inside the company. So the main things is they support each other automatically.
Yeah.
And this, I think, is the main thing. So a lot of our agents work in the office, and they come back from homework to office because of communication, and just they can speak with their friends and share the situation, because all they work in one situation with one use, etc., and can discuss it, and it's really help just talk.
Mm.
Martin,
And I can add,
yeah,
and not
tell
so
me.
many people, work with some coach or psychologist. Not so many people. Maybe 10 or 15% of our staff. So they just share inside the group.
Mm. Yeah.
Martin, can tell you about another contact centers. I know each of them work with some psychologists. Yes, not all people work with them, but they each of them has such possibilities. It's first one, and next one. Some of them use not only psychologists but sportsmen, which make some sports together for operators. Yeah, some gymnastic or yoga or Pilates. Some of them. Yeah, it's very important that the management of contact center tells that you can work good only if you have a very good physical condition. Yeah, so before work you must make some physical exercises and so on. Yeah, so sometimes you can use such possibilities. Yeah, then now when we have enough electricity, many of contact centers work part in the office, part time at home. So from time to time, people come to office, have again pizza days or some team meetings and so on. That's why usually it's not so difficult because if something happened, really now pity, but it's not only for you.
Mm.
You always has in your team the same situation with brothers, fathers, sisters, because a lot of women also in the on the front. So so you're not one. You
Yes.
always can find people in the same situation.
And contact centers are great for that.
Yeah,
And you've got, it must be football as well as gymnastics and yoga.
yeah,
But sometimes they are running because we
yeah.
have marathons from time to time. Yes, in different cities. Yeah, we make.
I had a question from Morris Pentel as well, who said, um, what are you looking forward to the most when this is over? And we all hope and pray that it's over with you winning. But what do you look forward to that maybe you haven't been able to do?
Uh, um, I can tell that Firstly, we will have a lot of problem inside the Ukraine with guys from front lines, because they was too many years in front line. For example, yesterday I met my friends, and he worked with drones more than 3 years in front line, and he said that he doesn't understand how he will come back to a city and live in a city, because they usually work from the first line or zero line, and used to live in some I don't know, some small ground hall, etc. So he doesn't understand how he will repair after that. But they have great humor, really great humor. Maybe sometimes it's very dark humor, but it's humor. And so first the problem it will be in Ukraine, how Ukrainian and how we can live with this work experience. Secondly, I think we will have a great open markets for our employees, for our companies, because we can show how we work in this tough situation. So when a situation it will be okay, so we expect great. Productive of our men and our employees, because if they great workers in wartime, so they will be as great workers in peacetime in Ukraine, Europe.
Yeah.
So it's from our side. Iryna, can you add?
Really, after I spoke with different people, and we told about that the time after victory will be much more difficult than before, because really we must receive a lot of questions in one moment. Economical problems with health, political questions, yeah, and there's we will see what will happen with Russia and what we will see with the result of our victory. Yeah? So we will start the election process. You know, it's not so easy always in the Ukraine, and especially in our situation that now a lot of parties not work in a period of war, but they will start their work. Yeah, maybe we will see new parties. Maybe some of them will paid from Russia, and if it will still alive in this moment. So really. Adequate people understand that the victory will be a very happy day, but only one day. Yes, but we must prepare to this situation, and must eat the pie from one piece to another. Yeah. So if we will decide the question with war, I hope we will decide another. We understand which type of problems will we see, and I hope we will have another people who will understand how to work with them.
I love that. And for everyone that's listening, when you know, and if you've gone back and listened to the first episodes that Iryna came on, when you know that these are such brave people working day in and day out and fighting against aggression, and you are right behind them. I know 99% of this country is right behind Ukraine, but it's not okay just to do nothing. There are ways that you can support Ukraine and that you can support the Ukrainian Contact Center Association, and that can be through contacting Iryna or Bogdan and finding out how you can talk about business, talk about support, but you must take action. It's not okay to think, "Oh, I'm right behind Ukraine," and then do nothing. You have to do something because, Iryna, you are right. We as Europeans need to stand together and say it is not okay for a country to invade another country. It wasn't okay in 1939 and 1940, and it's not okay in the 2020s. So now is not the time to think, oh, I can't help. You can help. You absolutely can help. And that can start with a simple message or contact with Iryna or Bogdan. There are plenty of other ways to support the Ukraine, and we absolutely should, because you guys are inspirational. You're working in an environment and in situations that none of us can even comprehend. We don't have to live through that. You do, and you are carrying on, and we have to show that we back you.
Thank
Yes,
you,
thank you, Martin.
Martin. Yeah, thank you. You're absolutely right. And I would like to tell some words more. We passed a lot for such 3 years. And we have a very big experience in about life in the war. So we can help you to prepare to such situation. Yeah, we know our mistakes for first days. We know our mistakes where mistakes make our government or our business and so on when we didn't prepare for to the war. Yeah, so we are ready to give our expertise, our experience, and we are ready to help and mm, mm, uh, and be winner. Not on, we not think that Ukraine will be winner. We hope that right people will winner, and we will winner together with Europe, because now I think it's not a war only Ukrainian, it's a war of
Mm.
right people against really I can tell you this morning I thought that maybe Trump is Luddite of the 21st century. Maybe he is last Luddite. It's a war of old war
Yeah.
world against new.
Mm.
And I think the old people from old war must be in the past. Yeah, so we must be winner in the new life. So so make it together.
Yes.
We all will be happy in this.
Yeah. Well, we wish you well, and we want to support you. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Maybe the last one. From our point of view, we now in periods 1938, and we should not to repeat this historical problem. Then we try to deal with something. So we should not to deal. We should make the peace, make the opportunity to grow all country, and we shouldn't think about war in 21st century. It's opinion from Ukrainian and people who live here.
Yes. Well, thank you both so much. I hope to see you again. We'll have to do this again, and I hope that very soon I can come to Ukraine and meet you in person, or see you when you come to win another award in London.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
Yeah. Героям слава.
Героям слава. Bye.